Christ isn't nearly as forgiving of sexual crime as you might think. There has been a widely misinterpreted story in the New Testament which has caused a lot of Western civilization to go astray. And it's the story of the adulterous woman, John 8. In this story, Jesus tells these Pharisees who are about to stone this woman caught in adultery, "He who is without sin, cast the first stone." And so people have come to the conclusion that what that means is that if you've committed any sin, like Romans says that all people have, then you can't punish, sexual crime, for example. But this is clearly not the case. What Jesus is actually kind of hearkening back to is Hosea 4:14, where God says, "I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery. For themselves they are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots." So even in the Old Testament, because remember, Old Testament God and New Testament God are the same, God was like, "I will not punish the women in your society for sexual crime if the men are committing sexual crime at the same rate," because if men are expected to lead society, then if the men are failing, of course, the women are going to be failing in this respect. So we are not going to punish the women. We're going to take a look in the mirror and sort out our own issues. So what are the modern day implications of this story? Well, the false implication is that we shouldn't legislate against sexual crimes. I disagree totally, and I think Christ disagrees totally. I think that adultery should be illegal, whoredom should be illegal, prostitution should be illegal, all these things should be illegal. What are the real implications of the story? Well, there's two. One is that judgment in a society should correspond to the moral level of the society, right? Like, God is somewhat forgiving in a very sinful society towards individuals in that society because they are shaped to an extent by their culture and whatnot. And so to punish, people in modern America with the same standards as, for example, the Davidic kingdom in Israel is just not going to work because there's different societies are on a different level, which makes individuals bear a differing amount of responsibility for their own sins. So secondly is that red pill stuff, hoflation, blah, 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 blah. Okay, shut up, stop watching, whatever, and, the P word, and, treat women, don't lust after women and stuff like that before you ever make any sort of comment on hoflation and whatnot. If you're watching, the P word and you're talking about hoflation, respectfully shut up, okay? Nobody wants to hear you're a hypocrite. That's it.